Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, friends, and welcome back to Daily Dose Radio, here in the Bible Bistro. I'm not asking you to do this for a while, but I was wondering if you would mind going out to YouTube and subscribing to the YouTube channel. That's called, I think it's under my name, David Smith, and it's called the Bible Bistro. And actually, you'll find there not only Daily Dose Radio, but you'll find the Creek Road Baptist Pulpit. You'll find the School of Wisdom podcast there as well. I hope that you'll go out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today we're looking at verses 17 through 22, so kind of a big bite to end the week. Let me read for you beginning in 17. Fools because of their transgression and because of their iniquities are afflicted. Their soul abhorreth all manner of meat, and they draw near to the gates of death. Then they cry unto the Lord in their trouble, and he saves them out of their distresses. He sent his word and healed them, and delivered them from their destructions. Oh, that men would praise the Lord for his goodness, for his wonderful works to the children of men. And let them sacrifice the sacrifices of thanksgiving, and declare his works with rejoicing. Notice verse 17, just a matter of fact, isn't it? Fools because of their transgression, and because of their iniquities are afflicted. I mean, that is as plain Jane as you want to be. As a matter of fact, this reminds me of something that we might find in the book of Proverbs. This is almost proverbial in a sense, the way it's written, the way it's stated, very matter of fact. Actually, if you look at the very last verse of Psalm 107, that too sounds like a wisdom statement. So we add those two together, and I'm wondering if maybe all of this is not from that school of wisdom that we talk about in the podcast, the School of Wisdom, proverbial idea of truth facts being communicated here via poetry in the Psalter. Verse 18, their soul abhorreth all manner of meat, and they draw near to the gates of death. Well, their affliction here is described. Because of their transgression, because of their iniquities, they are afflicted. Here's their affliction. They abhor all manner of meat, they draw near to the gates of death. Now they're getting ready to die, what are they going to do? They cry out unto the Lord. So even the fool in his affliction, in his transgression, can call out to the Lord, and the Lord will save him or her from their distress. Notice verse 20 speaks directly to the condition of the fool. The Lord sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions. You'll notice the destruction here is their transgression and their iniquity. So the Lord deals directly again with their need. So we've seen the redeemed talked about there in verses 3 through 5. They cried out to the Lord, and the Lord led them to go to a city of habitation. We saw those who were under affliction, those who had rebelled against the Lord, in verses 9 through 12. And they cried out to the Lord, and he brought them out of darkness and the shadow of death. The fool, because of transgression, is drawing near to the gates of death. He calls out to the Lord, and the Lord sends his word and heals them. The healing here is not a physical healing, because you'll notice that a physical healing or an ailment is not mentioned. It's transgression and iniquity. That's the problem. So the healing that he's talking about here is a spiritual, soulish kind of healing. And he delivers them from their destructions, that is, their transgressions and their iniquities. Then we have the second part of our refrain. Oh, that men would praise the Lord for his goodness, for his wonderful works to the children of men. Verse 22 is what Weiser calls the break in the psalm, because here we have another let them statement. We had that in verse 2, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Now in verse 22, we have let them sacrifice. So all the people that he's talked about, those that were redeemed, who God led, those that rebelled, whom God saved, and the fool that God has healed, let all of these men praise the Lord and bring sacrifices of thanksgiving and declare his works with rejoicing. Again, this is a psalm of thanksgiving. I hope you'll join me again next week as we look at the second half of Psalm 107 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.